You may not want to eat rice again after watching this video. My name is Dr. Becky. I am a food scientist. I have spent the last 10 years of my life researching rice. I have looked at the chemistry of rice, how to process it, make different products from rice, and these are the three things that I believe consumers of rice should know before eating rice. The first one is all types of rice are not the same, especially when it comes to the nutrition that they provide. There are different types of rice, different varieties of rice, but I'm going to classify rice into three major forms. The first one is brown rice. This is the rice that you get after you harvest rice and remove the hull or the husk of the rice. This brown rice is brown in color because of the rice bran that covers the endosperm. Now the rice bran has a lot of good things for you. It has B vitamins, minerals, proteins and fat that are good for you. Now brown rice might not always be good for you, and I would mention the condition later, but that is how brown rice looks like. The next rice is parboiled rice. Parboiled rice is when we harvest the rice, dry it, soak it, and then steam it so that all the nutrients from the bran would move into the rice endosperm. Now this parboiled rice tends to cook more fluffy, and it has about 80% the nutritional value of brown rice. This is also a good alternative of rice that you can eat. The next type of rice is white rice. White rice is the most widely consumed type of rice from my own point of view, and it is not the very best form of rice. How do we get it? When we have brown rice, we meal it or we scrape off the surface. We scrape off the bran, which is all the good stuff, and then we are left with the starchy endosperm, which is mostly starch or carbohydrate. The thing about white rice is very sweet or very addictive to eat, but it doesn't have all the nutrients. It has about 90% starch, and that leads me to the next problem that this can cause. Rice has a high glycemic index. What is glycemic index? Glycemic index is a simple way that we measure how much carbohydrates that we eat contribute to our blood sugar, or how the carbohydrates that we eat can raise our blood sugar. If you eat pure glucose, the glycemic index would be 100 because the glucose is just absorbed and it goes straight into the bloodstream. When glycemic index is 55 and below, we consider it as low glycemic index. If it's above 56 to about 69, we would say it's a medium glycemic index. Now from 70 and above, that is a high glycemic index. White rice has about 73 to about 92 glycemic index, which is pretty high. And what does this mean? This means that it can raise our blood sugar level. What does this cause? This can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. How does it work? Now, when you constantly eat high carbohydrate foods, what it does is that it keeps your blood sugar high. When you eat these carbohydrate foods and they are absorbed, your body tells pancreas, which is an organ in your body, to secrete insulin. The insulin is responsible for going to remove the sugar from the bloodstream into the cells. Because the sugar cannot stay consistently in your blood forever, it needs to go into the cells and is stored, and later when the body needs it for energy, the body can go into the cells for it. So pancreas, the organ, releases insulin and hormone, which goes into the blood to bring out the sugar into the cells to store it. But if your blood sugar is consistently high, the pancreas could get tired of producing insulin. So your body does not produce enough insulin, or the body produces the insulin, but the body becomes tired of it and becomes resistant to the insulin. This leads to type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes can be very dangerous because what it does is that it can affect your nerves, especially the nerves in your limbs. So you hear that people have diabetes and they have their limbs cut off. Type 2 diabetes can cause heart disease, can cause kidney disease, it can cause dementia, it can affect a lot of other things in your body that you don't want to be associated with. So the simple way of managing this is to reduce how much white rice you eat. You can use other alternatives like cauliflower rice, increase vegetables in your food, reduce the portion of rice that you add to every meal so that you don't consistently raise your blood sugar, which could lead to type 2 diabetes. And that leads me to the next issue about rice that you must know. By the way, if you are finding value in this video so far, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. The next issue is arsenic. Arsenic is a toxic chemical, it's a toxic material that we call heavy metals that is present in the soil and can be found in water as well. How does arsenic come in contact with rice? Arsenic is in the soil, so when you grow rice, rice can absorb the arsenic and store it in the kernels that we eat. And how does arsenic come about? Well, arsenic is mostly present in soils that have had some industrial activities like mining, and even landfill sites could have these toxins in the soil. And the concentration of arsenic in the soil differs from one location to the other. So rice that is grown in a region that has high arsenic content could have more arsenic than a rice that is grown in a region that does not have much arsenic content. By the way, rice is that number one crop that absorbs arsenic than most other crops. So you plant the same crop in the same location as rice, rice will absorb so many percentage more arsenic than the other crop. So you have to keep that in mind, because I'm sure you're wondering, oh, there's pollution everywhere. But no, rice is very good at absorbing arsenic. The problem with arsenic is that it's a toxic chemical. Most heavy metals like lead, arsenic, the body does not know how to use it because it's not part of the body's metabolism. The body cannot use it like the minerals like iron and coal that help the body. So it just accumulates and causes problems. For example, arsenic can cause kidney disease, can cause certain cancers. Arsenic can even cause low mental development in kids. It can reduce the intelligence of kids. That is why it's not advisable to give babies rice. You have to wait for them to be a little older. Because of the small sizes of these babies also, like their body size is small, the little amount of arsenic that accumulates can cause problems, developmental problems in them. The solution here is that when you want to cook rice, wash the rice with a lot of water. You have to make sure that you're washing the rice with clean water and not water that has arsenic sipped in there. Because if you wash it with water that has higher arsenic than the rice will absorb more of the arsenic from the water and you will not be doing a lot of good. So wash your rice with a lot of water. By washing the rice with a lot of water, you can reduce the arsenic content of the rice by about 20 to 30%. The other way is that when you're cooking the rice, cook it with plenty of water. Like cook the rice like how you cook noodles, so that after cooking, then you drain off the water, just drain off that water and throw it away, and then you have your rice. Okay, so these are the basic things that we can do to make sure that eating rice is healthy. Choose more of the brown rice. I have to say that the time that brown rice would not be a good option for you to eat is that brown rice tends to have more arsenic content than white rice, because when arsenic is deposited in the grain, arsenic tends to be more present in the rice bran, which is the coat of the rice, like the inner coat, that brown portion of the kernel. It tends to be in the rice bran than the endosperm. So in this case, choosing white rice would be better because you don't have too much arsenic in white rice. It's scraped off in the bran. So you see, there is always that. So brown rice, healthy, B vitamins, minerals and everything, but could be more in arsenic. The way you can do that is wash it well, cook it with a lot of water and drain it off. Now, if you want to know the kind of things that you should be eating, check out my next video on why you should eat 1 avocado every day. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.